The Vikings' dilemma: what to do with Sam Darnold. The Minnesota Vikings face one of the toughest decisions of this offseason. Keep Sam Darnold or move in a different direction. Darnold arrived in Minnesota as a stopgap, a temporary solution while J.J. McCarthy developed. However, a preseason injury sidelined McCarthy, leaving Darnold as the only viable option to replace Kirk Cousins. Few expected Darnold to shine, given his frustrating stints with the Jets and Panthers. But under Kevin O'Connell's leadership, Darnold had the best season of his career. He completed 66.2% of his passes, threw for 4,319 yards, and recorded 35 touchdowns. His performance led to a 14-win regular season and a Pro Bowl selection. Working with Justin Jefferson, Aaron Jones, and one of the best play callers in the NFL helped tremendously. The problem is that Darnold has now become a coveted name in free agency. Some teams might offer him a contract exceeding 4 years and $100 million to secure his services. This situation puts the Vikings front office, led by Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, in a complex dilemma. On one hand, Darnold has proven he can be a winning quarterback in the NFL. On the other, McCarthy is still on the roster and was drafted to be the franchise's future. The team could simply let Darnold walk, trusting in McCarthy's potential. Another option would be to offer Darnold a long-term deal and explore a trade for McCarthy. A middle-ground solution would be applying the transition tag, set at $35.3 million for 1 year. This strategy would buy more time to evaluate McCarthy while keeping Darnold for another season. However, there are financial risks. Darnold would take up a significant chunk of the salary cap. Additionally, if he repeats the inconsistency he showed in the playoffs, the investment might not be worth it. In the playoffs, the Vikings lost to the Rams 27-9, with Darnold getting sacked 9 times. His late-season performance raises concerns about his ability under pressure. Troy Aikman and other analysts criticized his drop in performance during crucial moments. The financial factor looms large. The Vikings need to strengthen the offensive line and other areas of the team. Re-signing Darnold could take away resources that could be used to improve the roster. There's also a bolder approach to consider, such as trading for a veteran quarterback. The franchise must decide if it believes Darnold can replicate his 2024 success long-term. If not, trusting McCarthy and letting Darnold walk might be the safest option. The Vikings cannot afford to get this decision wrong, as it will impact the team's future. The final choice will depend on a mix of factors: performance, salary, and strategic vision. No matter the decision, the next few months will be crucial for the franchise's future. If the Vikings choose to keep Darnold, they must adjust their budget to avoid compromising other positions. Justin Jefferson's contract extension and the need for defensive reinforcements weigh heavily in the equation. A long-term deal for Darnold would mean J.J. McCarthy, a first-round pick, would be left without a clear path. This could force the Vikings to trade McCarthy, possibly for future draft picks. However, giving up on a promising young quarterback could be a long-term strategic mistake. The team could attempt a short-term deal for Darnold, but that might push him toward free agency. Other QB-needy teams could offer him more security and a better long-term commitment. Teams like the Denver Broncos, New England Patriots, and Las Vegas Raiders could be competitors for Darnold. The decision regarding Darnold directly impacts the Vikings' offensive philosophy for the coming years. With him, the team would continue betting on a deep passing and aerial dominant offense. With McCarthy, the scheme could shift toward mobility and a more balanced attack. The pressure on Kevin O'Connell will also increase based on the front office's decision. If the Vikings get this choice wrong, he could be held accountable and put on the hot seat. Negotiations with Darnold are expected to intensify in the coming weeks with the start of free agency. If he receives high offers, the Vikings must quickly decide whether to match them or not. The situation could also impact the locker room, as Darnold has earned the trust of his teammates. Many players might prefer keeping Darnold, potentially causing internal divisions if McCarthy takes over. On the other hand, investing in the future and developing McCarthy might be the best long-term move. Vikings fans are also split. Some want to retain Darnold, while others prefer to bet on the young QB. The franchise's recent quarterback decisions, like moving on from Cousins, have been risky. If Darnold leaves and succeeds elsewhere, the front office could face heavy criticism. If he stays and regresses, the Vikings could end up stuck in a bad contract. Every move in this process must be calculated based on statistics and realistic projections. The ideal scenario would be finding a balance between immediate competitiveness and long-term growth. A final decision will likely come before the draft to avoid uncertainty in planning. If the Vikings let Darnold go, they must have a solid plan to develop McCarthy quickly. The offensive line will be a crucial factor. If it doesn't improve, McCarthy could face the same struggles as Darnold. The Vikings' offseason revolves entirely around this decision, which could shape the franchise's future. The pressure is on Kwesi Adofo-Mensah and Kevin O'Connell to make the best possible choice. Regardless of the path chosen, the 2025 season will be a major test for the Vikings.